right, now multi-step conversion. So what multi-step conversion means is there's not a direct conversion. All right, there you have to use two conversions to get to what you want. All right, or more, two or more. We'll do examples with the first example 2, and then we'll do a couple of examples where we actually have to do 3 steps. And so you have to do more than one multiplication. More than one fraction has to be set up. All right, so first example is I want to convert 2.5 miles to inches. So how many inches are there in the 2.5 miles? And so if I pop up my sheet with all my conversions on it, you'll see the length. So you're looking for length, right? Miles and inches are lengths. There's no inches equivalent in my table for miles. There is 1 mile is equivalent, one standard mile is equivalent to 5,280 feet. That's the only mile conversion we have, and so I can convert to feet. Well, feet's not what I want inches. And so then now I have to go, well, I can get to feet. Now I have to go one more step to get me to inches, so I will also have to use the fact that I know the table gives me that there is 12 inches for every foot. And so I have to use 2 conversions. So I have to set up 2 conversion factors. All right, so the 2 conversions I'm going to use, whereas I know there's 1 foot for every 12 inches, and for every 1 mile, there is 5,280 feet. 5,280 feet. You can read that. 280. All right, so those are the conversions that I'm going to use. So we start off with the 2.5. Now I'm going to do it all in one. If you want to take it one piece by one piece, so if you want to convert from miles to feet, then feet to inches, like the ones, and do it in one step to feet, and then one step to inches, you can do that. I'm going to do it all at once. I'm going to do both steps at the same time, meaning I'm going to multiply it all out in one problem. All right, so I'm starting with miles. Miles is what I want to get rid of. Well, the mile conversion I have is mile to feet. And so when I set up my factor, it's going to have miles and feet in it. I want to put in the bottom miles, because miles is what I want to get rid of, so 1 mile. Well, the equivalent of 1 mile would be the 5,280 feet. So up top now I have feet. It's an 80 if you can't read that. See if I can write it better. 80 feet. All right. If you multiply that out, and if you did it in this one step right now, if you multiply 2.5 times the 5,280, that would give you how many feet are in 2.5 miles. Well, I don't want feet. I want inches. So right now, I've got the miles to cancel out, but my answer would be in feet. Right, so I have to do one more conversion. I need to now multiply so that I get rid of feet, and I'm left with inches. And so I want to get rid of feet. So I know I have 1 foot for 12 inches, so I want to put my 1 foot in the bottom, because I want to cancel out feet. And I want to be left with inches. Well, I know there are 12 inches per 1 foot. The feet will cancel out and leave me with what I'm looking for, which is my inches. All right, so when I multiply that out, and so when you multiply it out, it's going to be, like I said, you could have done this one piece at a time. I'm going to do it all in one shot, though. So you're going to take the 2.5 miles in your calculator. So this is how you type it on your calculator. 2.5 times 5,280 times 12, and that will leave you with the inches you're looking for, all right? And it should be a big number. It should make sense. 2.5 feet has a lot of inches in it. Right? If there are 5,280 feet in every one of those miles, well, the 12 inches for every one of those feet, there should be a lot. So this comes out to a fairly big number, and it does. It comes out to 158,400 inches. All right, so for 2.5 miles, there is 158,400 inches. All right, and again, that's a multi-step. Like I said, I did it all in one shot. You could do it piece by piece. You figure out the method that works best for you. You should get to the same answer either way if you convert to feet first and then feet to inches, if you do the one-step conversions. All right, the next example is years to minutes. Now, we don't give you, if you look at the conversion table, there's no time. All right, we assume that you know time conversions. All right, how many, again, the small sets. And so we're starting out with years, we want to get to minutes, but there's nobody knows the direct conversion between, unless the people who do it all the time, between years and minutes. But I can work backwards from minutes to hours, right? I know there are 60 minutes per 1 hour. I know there are 24 hours per 1 day. And I know there are 365 days per 1 year. So this time I'm going to use 3-unit conversions. I'm going to convert from days. I'm going to convert from years to days, days to hours, hours to minutes. That's what I'm going to convert to. All right, so we start off with 4 years. I want to get rid of years. My conversion for years is I know there are 365 days. So 1 year, 365 days. All right, that gets rid of my years, but now I have days. I don't want days. All right, so I know there are 25 hours every 1 day. All right, so, 24 hours per 1 day. So I'm going to take 24 hours per 1 day. That gets rid of days. But I still have hours. All right, the hours isn't what I want. Well, I need minutes. So my next conversion is, well, I know there are 60 minutes per 1 hour. And so that's the 3. So this time there's 3 steps. I convert years to days, days to hours, hours to minutes. And so when we multiply this out, there's going to be 4 units. It's 4 times 365 times 24 times 60. And again, it's going to come out to a large number. That's going to leave me with, I have to cancel out my hours, but my hours cancel out. It's going to leave me with my minutes. And so you're going to take, on your calculator, you're going to take your 4 times the 365 times the 24, and that's going to leave you with your minutes. And it should be a really big number, right? There's a lot of minutes in 4 years. All right, comes out 2,202,000. I'm going to double check this. So 4 times 365 times 24 times 60. Yeah, 2,102,400 minutes in 4 years. All right, next one. How many cups are there in gallons? So I have 17,000 cups and I want to convert it to gallons. So I want to figure out, well, how many cups there are to gallons. So I go to my conversion table and look up. So this is volume, cups and gallons. So this is looking at volume. And so I don't need those anymore because I've used those. All right, so down here looking at volume. Let's see here. I've got gallons to quarts. But I don't have, again, cups. Remember, I want to get to cups. I've got quarts to pints and pints to cups. All right, so this is going to take 3 conversions too. It's going to be a lot like the last example. I know that there are 4 quarts for every 1 gallon, 1 quart for every 2 pints, 1 pint for every cup. Cups what I want to get to. Cups what I want to start with. Gallons what I want to get to. So those are the 3 conversions that I'm going to use. So I'm going to go write those on my sheet of paper that I had. So the conversions that I want to use in this case is I know that there is 1 pint equals 2 cups. 1 quart is equal to 2 pints. Double check that. 1 quart is equal to 2 pints. And then 1 gallon is equal to 4 quarts. Alright, so those are the conversions I'm going to use. I got to remember what I'm starting with and what I want to finish up with. Alright, so I'm starting off with cups and I want to finish with gallons. So I've got 17,000 cups. Which means when I set up my and so this one, since I did all the other ones sort of straightforward, this one I'm going to in case you're a person who wants to do it step by step, I'll do this 1-step conversion. So first I'm going to convert cups to pints. So I'm going to do it 1 step at a time. Cups to pints, then I'll do pints to quarts, and then I'll do quarts to gallons. All right, so cups to pints. So I know for every 1 pint, there's 2 cups. Remember, cups is what I want to get rid of. So in the bottom, I put the 2 cups. And up top, I put the 1 pint. And so I'm going to take 17,000 times 1/2. Right? That's what this is when I write it out. It's 17,000 times 1/2 or divide by 2, and that's going to leave me with pints. All right, so when I multiply that out, so I'm going to take my 1,700 times my 1/2, and so I've got 8,500 pints. But pints isn't what I want. And you could do this like we did the last example. You could write them all at once. So I'm just showing you an alternative way. All right, so I've got pints right now. So I start off with my 8,500 pints. I'm going to convert my pints to quarts, right? Because that's my conversion that I have, pints and quarts. So I know for every 2 pints, I have 1 quart. All right, so again, same thing. I'm going to multiply by half. I'm going to take my 8,500 times 1/2, and that's going to leave me with quarts. So that's 4,250 quarts, which I'm still not what I want to do. I want to get to gallons. And so I use the last conversion. So again, right now I have my 4,250 quarts. I need to multiply by my conversion between gallons and quarts. So that means I've got quarts I want to put in the bottom because that's what I want to get rid of. So 4 quarts per 1 gallon. And so it's going to be the 4,250 times the fraction 1/4, or divide by 4, same thing. So it comes out to 1,062.5. All right, and that's the final answer because that gets us to what we wanted, which was gallons. All right, so the final answer was 1,062.5 gallons is equal to 17,000 quarts. All right, next page. All right, multi-step conversion between U.S. custom, yes. So this is a U.S. versus metric system, which can get messy. All right, so we start with kilometers. We want to get to feet. So again, I'm going to go to my, so this is actually on the second English to metric system table. All right, so I'm going to pull up my second table if I can get it pulled up here. All right, so I'm going to go to kilometers to feet. So I've got kilometers to miles. Well, I've got meters to miles. I don't want miles, I want meters. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is convert kilometers to meters. And then I've got meters to feet. All right, so this is what, again, if you know anything about the metric system, if you're going from, so it's sort of this bottom table down here, metric system. A kilo means 1,000 of whatever the unit is. The unit would be, in this case, meters, right? So 1,000 meters is the same as a kilogram. So I'm going to use that. Kilogram is the same as 10,000 meters. And then I know 1 meter is equal to 3.28 feet. So those are the conversions I'm going to use. Oops, hit the wrong thing. Going to kilometers to feet. All right, so I know 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meters. I also know 1 meter is equal to 3.28 feet. And so that's what we're going to use. All right, so 25 kilometers. And if you know, if you've done a lot of these and you know the quick conversion, you can just go straight to the quick conversion. I'm going to use the conversion factor. So I know for every 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meters. And so that's my first thing to go from kilometers to meters. And then I'm going to switch from meters to feet. All right, I know that for every 1 meter, it's equal to 3.28 feet. All right, and that gets me what I want. Kilometers cancel out in this step. Meters cancel out in that step. So it's going to be 25 times 1,000 times 3.28. And that's going to leave me with the feet was what I was left with. Feet is what I want. All right, so when you take your 25 times 1,000, that'll give you 25,000 meters is the same as 25 kilometers. And then take that times your 3.28, and that will give you how many feet that you have. And so it comes out to be 82000, so 82,000 feet. All right, and that's my final answer. All right, the next one, kilograms. So again, same thing, kilograms, I'm going to switch to grams. Remember, kilo means 1,000 of them. Again, I'll go to my table and look that up. All right, so I'm looking at kilometers, and I want to go to, I forgot what I wanted to go to, ounces. All right, kilograms, kilometers, sorry, kilograms, I said it right the first time. Kilograms to ounces, kilograms to ounces. All right, so first thing I'm going to go is to kilograms to grams. All right, so for every 1 kilogram, there is 1,000 grams. Oh, I need to get to ounces, but there is 28.35 grams for every 1 ounce. All right, so those are the two conversions I'm going to use. So I'm going to write those down here. So 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams. And then I know 1 ounce was equal to 28.35 grams. All right, so the first thing I do is convert to grams. So 2,000 kilograms times 1 kilogram goes bottom because I want to cancel out kilograms is equivalent to 1,000 grams. Right, there are 1,000 grams per each kilogram, and so that would come out. So if I do this in 2 steps, if I multiply that out, that comes out to 200,000 grams, which now I want to convert to ounces. And so I know that for every 1 ounce, there is 28.35 grams. Right, I put grams in the bottom because that's what I want to cancel out, and I want to be left with ounces. So I'm going to take 200,000 grams times the fraction. So when you type this out on the calculator, it's 200,000. You can either type it out as a fraction, 1 over 28.35, or do the division. 200,000 divided by 28.35. All right, just make sure you're careful. Make sure you're careful whichever way. Pick whichever way makes the most sense to you. This time I'm going to round to, it comes out to an ugly decimal that goes forever, 7054.66. Repeating. Suppose I wanted to round to the whole number. So I'm going to round up to the whole number. So I'm going to round the whole number is rounding up to 75.5. Alright, so there's about, since I rounded, 7,055 ounces is equivalent to 200 kilograms. Now, this one's not quite as nice because I did round. In this case, I rounded. All right, but that's the equivalency. All right, so we'll stop there. I'll pick up the next set of notes in the next video.